The joy of a good Bluetooth speaker is that you can listen to music anywhere without sacrificing great sound quality. But not all Bluetooth speakers are good. Some are so fragile that you're nervous to actually take them out of your house, which defeats the purpose. Others sound great with deep bass and clear vocals, but they have a short battery life or an overly complicated setup process. And the market is saturated with different shapes, sizes, and sounds, giving you hundreds of options to choose from at a variety of prices. Are you looking for the best keyword? In this video, we will look at some of the best keyword on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. JBL Clip 4. Most of these Bluetooth speakers are portable, but the Clip 4 is the lightest and smallest speaker we've tested, coming in at just over a half pound. Despite that fact, its battery still lasts up to 10 hours. It's easy to underestimate the sound quality of a speaker as small as the Clip 4, and granted, it doesn't sound quite as good as the Wonderboom 3, but it does the job adequately. In our testing, it managed to sound clear and vibrant, even with outdoor sounds like waves and wind in the background. The clip design allows you to attach it to nearly anything. It holds on just as well to a hiking pack as it does a bike basket or shower rod. The speaker has rubber ribs on the back that allow you to place it flat on smooth surfaces, without having to worry about it sliding all over the place. This makes sense because at peak volume, the Clip 4 is prone to significant shaking. The speaker is waterproof and dustproof, and it can withstand a few knocks against a hard surface. Number 2. Bang & Olufsen Beosound A1 2nd Gen Portable Bluetooth Speaker. Bang & Olufsen has always made products with superior sound, and the next generation A1 is no exception. Like its predecessor, the latest version of the A1 produces sound with clarity you wouldn't expect from a speaker this small. On several different albums, vocals came through even on songs with heavy bass. Bowman said, "The dustproof and waterproof Beosound doesn't sacrifice loudness for clarity. It's tuned just right." The Beosound has a battery life of up to 18 hours and supports USB-C charging for an up-to-date cable setup. Many like the Wonderboom still use micro USB. It weighs just over a pound, but that's mostly thanks to its tough metal shell and rubber base. Additionally, this speaker supports Alexa, if you like to keep your smarts with you wherever you go. But Bowman notes that in his testing, the voice assistant was a bit tedious to set up. Number 3. JBL Pulse 5. If you want a speaker that looks as good as it sounds, JBL's Pulse 5 looks like a modern take on a lava lamp and sounds great. It's notably bigger than most of our other picks, standing at 8.5 inches tall, but that's to its benefit. Its bright, cylindrical array of lights play a variety of animations. It's packed with options as far as lighting, including spinning rings of different colors, lights that look like clouds moving through a blue sky, and pulsing dots. You can also change the tempo of the animations to better match the vibe of your room, though every tempo syncs to your current song automatically. It goes beyond just being a nice bit of decoration. It's a solid speaker, too. In my testing, it performed well across a variety of genres, including classical, electronic, hip-hop, and rock, with minor discrepancies on higher frequency notes, but nothing too noticeable. It's not as portable as the Wonderboom, Clip, or Flip, but it's notably louder, and its sound is richer. Plus, that extra size makes for a better light show, which is the main attraction. Number 4. Edifier R1700BT Bluetooth Bookshelf Speakers. Powered bookshelf speakers. If you want a pair of bookshelf speakers that can wirelessly stream your records, Jake Sullivan, co-owner of Wooden Tooth Records in Tucson, Arizona, recommends Edifier's R1700BT. He sells them in his shop and says customers love them. It's the perfect price point for somebody who's getting a new turntable or speaker system, but doesn't want to blow their budget, he says, adding that despite their compact size, they're loud enough to fill a room. If you want to connect these speakers to a turntable that's not Bluetooth enabled, it has inputs for traditional stereo cables. The added Bluetooth functionality is handy for when you're not playing a record, so you can blast a playlist or two straight from your phone without having to switch to a separate speaker. The right speaker has a side panel for controlling the volume, as well as bass and treble levels. There's also a wireless remote you can use to adjust those same levels, plus toggle the mute function and switch input devices. Unlike other speakers we recommend, these speakers don't have a built-in battery, so you'll need to connect the R1700 BTS to a power source. Number 5. JBL Boombox 3. Most speakers can get loud enough to hear outside in ideal conditions with small groups of people. But if you throw a lot of parties or large get-togethers, you may want a bigger speaker that won't get drowned out by chatter or wind. JBL's Boombox 3 is a large speaker, but it has a built-in handle that makes it easy to grab and transport. At 13 pounds, it's significantly heavier than any other speaker we recommend, but the handle is balanced so that you don't notice all that weight. And all that extra heft pays off. It's by far the loudest speaker we've tested, and that extra boost doesn't come at the expense of sound quality. At 40% volume, it's louder than smaller speakers at maximum volume, and it's hard to imagine many scenarios that would need to crank it to 100%. Bass is heavy without overpowering other frequencies, and vocals sound crisp from up to a few hundred feet away. If you have another JBL speaker, like the Pulse 5, you can even pair them together for a richer sound, though they have to stay pretty close to each other, so you shouldn't use this as a way to carry tunes between rooms. Its battery can last up to 24 hours on a single charge, and still lasted a couple hours after being inactive for a month. And it has a USB-A port you can use to charge your devices if you take this speaker with you on the road, or a visitor needs a quick charge before heading home. Number 6. JBL Flip 6. For those sticking to smaller get-togethers or solo listening parties, JBL's smaller Flip 6 provides enough volume to fill a room while having a small footprint. It's about the size of a small water bottle and can easily be tossed into a backpack or tote without adding too much heft to your bag. Sound is rich, with surprisingly powerful bass for a speaker this size. It's louder and has clearer sound than the Wonderboomer Clip, but it's not quite as loud as the Pulse 5, though it's significantly smaller. On the side, there are buttons for volume control, play pause, and a toggle for JBL's Party Boost mode that lets you easily pair multiple JBL speakers together without having to fiddle with any settings. It also has an easily removable fabric loop that you can grab onto when carrying it from room to room, or before dropping it into your bag and heading out for the day. Sullivan has been using an older model of the Flip for nearly 10 years, and says it's still holding up well enough to use for small gatherings. During a recent get-together, he was able to play 6 hours worth of music on a patio with a small group of friends.